Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to do another very beautiful autumn leaves, autumn trees. This is located at Greenwood Farms in Ipswich. All right, we're going to start with the sky. Take some cobalt blue here. All right, we'll put a wash on, basically just to cover some of the white when we put the trees. This will be peeking through the sky holes. And normally I would just paint the whole thing, but I'm leaving the white especially to keep the orange and yellows here from really showing their brightest. Okay, so I'm taking some, that's Windsor yellow. It's a nice transparent color. And I'm painting in the first layer on the trees. The shape of the trees is important here. We're going to go in, obviously, much brighter, much more color. But so I'm just painting the major shape of those trees with the Windsor yellow here. Very loose and juicy. Adding a little more here and there. Going to be a nice variety of colors. That's the key to these autumn trees. You really want them to sparkle, you know. So I'm putting a wash of yellow across the bottom where the grasses are, and there's all kinds of greens and beautiful colors down there, but we'll get to that. Okay, so that's all Windsor yellow, basically in the shape of the trees. Going to go a little thicker here. And I'm going to add some rose to it. You can see that rose is going to create a nice orangey color. More yellow mixed in there. The yellow and the rose will give you a beautiful. And I'm going to sporadically paint randomly some of these orange leaves, orange rose leaves, and spattering here and there. You know, just random. They're just random all over. I don't look at the photo here. I don't try to. We're not trying to duplicate the photo. You know, we have the photo. It's beautiful, but we want to get our own interpretation of what these autumn leaves look like. You can see that's a little more yellow. It's random. You don't want them all the same colors. You know, you want to mix the colors and have them all different. I'm letting some of that yellow come through, really working the edges here. You can see nice soft, you know, nice soft edges on the trees themselves. I'm not looking to get any hard edges. It's all about color here, you know, all about getting that color, not too heavy. I'm mixing up a green with a cobalt blue and the yellow, adding some raw sienna to it. Really, and I'm mixing on the paper here. You can see I added the green, but now I'm adding raw sienna to that green. It's beautiful to mix on the paper. Use the paper as your palette. You don't want it, that way you get some beautiful variety in colors and textures, and you know, you don't want it all the same here. So, all right, more of that rose and yellow, much brighter here towards the rose. Now I'm going back into the tree. The tree's still a little damp here, so these edges will get softer. And it's all random. I'm not looking at the photo. I'm not trying to match the photo. I'm looking at the painting, trying to get a nice effect of those dark, beautiful, warm reds and oranges and yellows. And beautiful, beautiful trees. Very exciting. All right. Going outside that shape. You don't have to stay in any lines. Okay, we're going, popping out. It gives it movement. You know, when you go outside those shapes with a little leaf here, a leaf here or there, you know, it really gives it some great movement. All right, so there's a cobalt blue and the yellow that gave us that green. Going back here, this is the ground level. Adding some raw sienna to it on the bottom. A little bit of that orangey color, warming it up. I'm a little high here. I wish I had left more space here, because now when I put this blue in, I'm going into a little bit of ultramarine blue here for the background. And these are distant hills. See, I'm going in, and I don't want to be painting around those leaves, so I'm just going to go right through them, and knowing that I will push those later to be stronger. So that's a distant hill. It's a little strong with the blue, so I will go into it and lighten it up a little bit here. Just go right through those leaves and bring it down. Notice the horizontal strokes, and that's going to level that area. All right, we're back to the orangey color I had, the rose and the yellow mix, and I'm spattering here. You all know how to spatter. You're throwing paint at the painting, hitting your finger so that it all goes out, and then you're going, patting it with a dry towel, and then more. You want to go, you know, leaves, trees are all about putting it down, taking it off. If you want to get that texture, it's the only way I know how to really get some beautiful texture. Spattering here, and I'm spattering the tops of the grass. All right, I'm mixing up some color to paint the trees in. And this is ultramarine, and quinceanna will give you a blackish color. And then I'm going to charge it up very heavy, very thick. Just enough moisture to be able to paint it. And then once I get to that black level, you can see here, I'm going to charge it up with some rose. Plenty of rose color here. All right, and here comes our trees. You want plenty of rose in there. We're going to do some lifting off once we get the trees done. Going back. That tree's a little set back a little more. I'm deliberately touching these trees here. I want this to be very close. One is behind the other, obviously. So you get the tree, and now we can do some shaping, and we can do some, get to those branches. You can't put enough branches in, so you don't worry about it. You can do as many as you like. It's beautiful training here with that, you know, those big brushes. You want to train, you know, really train your arm to hold it at a certain level and move it right across so that you don't get too heavy or too light with those long branches. They're beautiful. They stick way out on it's amazing when you look at a tree, you know, you look at some of these branches, they go out 20, 25, 30 feet from the tree. It's amazing how big they are. All right, so you notice that we're putting it in with this dark black color, but it's too much. You know, we want to lighten that up a little bit here and there. And you can do that. You can do it with a credit card and scrape and get some nice texture on your tree if you want to do that. Or you can just tap it with a towel and lighten up here and there, because you want some color. There's so much color, so much brightness and excitement in those trees, and it's reflecting all over the, you know, the color of the leaves is reflecting onto the trees themselves. So that's what we want to show. But first we want to establish the tree themselves. We want to get that big tree in there with the branches, and, you know, and then we can go in with a towel and tap them. There's so many branches there, and they're beautiful. They really add a beautiful contrast, and they make that orange pop. You know, they really make that go. All right, I'm putting some more of the orangey color in there. That's the rose, and I'm mixing some more yellow with it, raw sienna, different variations, and just randomly putting it here and there, you know, and I'll soften those edges, adding some raw sienna. You really want a beautiful variety. Raw sienna is a beautiful color here to add. You know, it's a dark orange color, you know, so it gives the other yellow a brightness that's really beautiful. So I'll work some of that in there. And you don't want too many hard edges. It looks too cut out, you know. A little more raw sienna with just a touch of rose in there. Not too heavy, you know, not too much. A lot of work making these trees look simple. All right, you really want to get that in there. More branches to those outer reaches of leaves. Okay, some more on that other big branch. Okay, nice variety. All right, I'm adding some color down on the grasses themselves. That's just cobalt blue with the yellow, mixed with some of the orangey color here. You know, you want to give some solidity to that ground, you know, give some form. Notice, and it gives it a nice weight on the bottom there, which is really nice. It adds so much to the painting. All right, adding some little bit of color on the trees themselves. A little bit of green up there. I hope you like this. I love working. You don't work too often with these colors. So that's the finished painting. You can see I added a lot more color to it, just working those leaves continually, okay? All right, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And thank you for joining the site. And I will see you again very soon.